Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's EricRayweather back here with the latest Madden 22 news and updates. We're getting ready for our last big Madden update of the year, which could be coming as early as this week, as we're about to jump over to March tomorrow. You know, we get a new update every month, so the March update likely would come in the first week or the first 10 days of the month. That's usually how they drop. We actually got another small update at the end of last week, which I will talk about in just a minute. It's nothing too crazy, but it was a slight change to the game. But the overall big game update should be coming out potentially this week or next, and it's probably going to be the last update of the year from what I'm hearing, which is kind of bad in a way, only because there's still a lot of things that were promised and things that we're waiting on that it looks like just really might not be happening. But we're going to cover all of that. But if you are new to the channel and you don't want to miss out on any of those future news or update videos, specifically more so for Madden 23, which we're going to start getting news about soon, and even the new NFL 2K game that we're going to start getting news about soon as well, make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of those important videos when they go live. Now, as we're nearing the end of this Madden 22 game cycle, we're still waiting on a lot of stuff. The two main things would be the two franchise updates that have still not dropped. And if you remember back to last year, they did those post-launch franchise updates. They stuck to them. They, took a bit to get out, but they got them all out. Now, fast forward this year, remember a few months ago, we had the rumors that they were canceling the remaining two updates and they wanted to focus more on Madden 23. EA then came out and said, no, that's not true. They're still dropping. We would hear about those updates in the new year, which was 2022. Well, tomorrow is March 1st, and we still haven't heard anything yet. Not only have we not heard anything yet, nothing is dropped. Both are bad signs, and when you look at the time of the year we're in, we're at that point of the year where EA stops updating Madden. Many years ago, they would pretty much stop in February. The last few years, they've gone all the way until April, but that means at the very most, we're left with two more big updates for the game, and we still haven't heard anything about franchise. And from what I'm hearing, March is going to be the last update this year, which would make sense because it'll either be March or April. They're not going to ever go any further than that because at this point, they're already knee deep on working on Madden 23. Like Madden 23, what it's going to be is already pretty much laid out and has been, worked on at least for a couple months up until this point. When they have to get a game out every year, of course, they got to start working on that game pretty early. So that's one part of it. The other part of it, and why I think the franchise updates really might not be coming, is because one of the reasons they were said to be canceled back a few months ago was not only were people, working on Madden 23, but also that the franchise team in particular had lost half of their people to the NCAA game that is going to be coming out probably in 2023. But of course, they've been working on this since last year. They're starting to really ramp that up now. So if they lost half the franchise team to NCAA, it would kind of make sense why they would have canceled the remaining franchise updates for Madden 22. Now we're going to get into everything you need to know, but really quickly, let's hear a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. Now look, if you've been around my channel, you already know how much I love Manscaped and their products, but they're taking it a step further with the Ultra Premium Collection. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man that covers you from head to toe, literally. You've got the Manscaped 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, which cleans and nourishes your hair. You've got the Manscaped body wash, which is a premium daily shower gel that's infused with aloe vera and sea salt. It gives you the perfect balance of tough cleaning and soothing hydration. You've also got the Manscaped Hydrating Body Spray. It's basically a spray-on lotion for everyday hydration that is distributed through a 360-degree delivery spray system for an even application and easy access to those hard-to-reach areas. They've even got their own deodorant now. It's aluminum-free, stain-free, and dries clear, which is huge because one of the biggest pet peeves I have is deodorants that leave those stains on your shirts. I can't stand that. And last but not least, they have the Manscaped Lip Balm, which helps soothe, hydrate, and seal in moisture for your lips. Now, if you go to manscaped.com/Eric20, you can get 20% off your order plus free international shipping. Again, that is manscaped.com/Eric20 for 20% off plus free international shipping. So when you put all that stuff together and you say that we still haven't heard anything yet, it's kind of looking like it actually might not happen. Even though EA came out and said, no, they're still happening, that really remains to be seen. I haven't heard anything on it, no rumors about it. If something does drop, it'll likely be in this last update for sure. But I think no matter what happens, we're definitely going to be kind of left a little bit on the short end of the stick in terms of some of the things they said they were going to do and they're not going to be able to do them now because they've lost too much of their team to different games at this point. And you know, what's left there can only get so much done perhaps, and then that's going to kind of leave us on the short end of the stick. Now, it's great that they're working on the NCAA game. It's great that they have franchise people working on the game, because the dynasty aspect of NCAA was always one of the biggest selling points of it, both offline and online. So it's good that they're working on that, and they know that that's got to be a focal point of that new game. But at the expense of the current game that people have spent money on, that's not something that's going to sit right with people. But we should see, I would think, something coming for franchise mode in this last update of the year, just because if they completely ignore it altogether, that's going to cause a lot of backlash. You know, if they come up one update short, people are still going to probably be mad, but with it being this late into the year, a lot of people have probably put the game down anyway. So if they still make an effort to do something to franchise, that could help a little bit. But if they just do nothing at all, I think they know the backlash that would come with that, and I don't think they want to go through that again. Now, in terms of last week, we did see a minor AP update. This is really only relevant if you play Ultimate Team. They changed up the ability points for things like Escape Artist, for example, because it's been broken all year. It's honestly been kind of broken since they put it in the game in Madden 20, but it had never been worse than it was this year, and that's because, as usual, contain logic in the game is so bad, and instead of fixing contains, which it seems like they just cannot figure out how to do, they just upped the ability points for the Escape Artist ability to make it less enticing to use. Now, a lot of people are still using it, of course, but it definitely has taken some people away from it, which I think was their goal. They also changed the AP for defense, because this has been a very poor defensive game, one of the worst defensive Maddens we've ever seen. It's really never been easier to score the ball, specifically on the newer consoles, not maybe so much the older consoles. So they kind of allowed for more ability to be spent on the defensive side of the ball just to kind of help balance things out. But it's about to be March. It's kind of too little too late for that, and then you have to take the rest of the game into account. People that play offline or people that play regular online head-to-head, they don't get that same type of balancing there. This is just an Ultimate Team thing, so kind of not really fair to the rest of the game. It would just be better if they could maybe tone the Escape Artist down, maybe fix contains finally, but that's just kind of my 2 cents. Now, in terms of gameplay updates that could be coming, I don't know that we're going to see too many in this last update. I think they're just going to tackle some of the bugs that maybe still are there, and I mean, it's kind of like, again, too little too late, but it's more so newer bugs that have popped up. There's definitely some new glitches in the game, like some forward pass glitches that's been going around for a while. I would think things like that are for sure going to be passing the last update, and then they're going to be pretty much all, you know, full steam ahead to Madden 23, but they never want to leave any of those big crazy bugs there for the last few months for the people that do want to play. They don't want to kind of just leave that there lingering around, so they're probably going to tackle that, but I wouldn't expect to see too many big gameplay things outside of that. Like, I don't think they're going to be touching coverages anymore at this point. Contains, if they haven't fixed them by now, I don't see why they would wait till now to fix it. I think that's going to be a Madden 23 thing that they're going to try to sell us on. Hey, contains finally work, but they've been saying that for like the last 10 years, and it's really never been the case, so who knows. And of course, we're still waiting on more playbook updates, player likeness updates, equipment updates, all things at the beginning of the year that once again they said we would see more of. They would do multiple of these, and really have not seen it. We saw some decent playbook updates earlier on, but they have not followed up, and every year this has been a reoccurring thing for the last at least couple years, where they'll do one playbook update and that's it, and they don't do any more. But at the beginning of the year, they're like, oh, expect 4 to 5. We're gonna like be constantly updating these things, and it just simply doesn't happen. Now, sometimes they do update the live playbooks, but they don't integrate them with the regular playbooks, so you kind of have to pick one or the other, and that's kind of turns people off as well. It's just kind of a mess. Player likeness, I mean, usually they're much better with this. They have not done a lot of that this year. They did one batch at the beginning of the year, getting like a lot of the notable rookies like Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and people like that into the game, Jalen Waddle, but you know, they haven't really done anything since then. Now, I do think they could throw another batch in there, or they're just going to wait till Madden 23 to do more of them. Either of those things could happen. I would hope that they would do those player likeness updates, but with the way they've been moving this year and the fact that they've lost people to NCAA, who knows? Same with equipment. We saw a little bit of equipment stuff earlier in the year. They said they had like, you know, very ambitious things they wanted to do with equipment, and they were going to, you know, try to roll out more things. We haven't seen that happen yet again. So could it happen in the last update? It's definitely one of the things that should be at the top of the list. But at this point, how can you really hold your breath on it? And as far as other modes like Superstar, KO, and the Yard, I do think you might see some tweaks with those, because they do seem to keep those regularly updated with new content like gear or changing up the rules or adding new little things like that. Kind of similar to what they do in Ultimate Team. Like there's, you know, more of those live service type elements to those modes. So you probably will see them do some stuff with that, because that's not really too hard hard for them to do. But in terms of like core changes in the last update, I don't think you're going to see core gameplay changes. I don't think you're going to see a ton with franchise. They might try to force something out there to keep people happy, but it might not be anything that's too crazy. And as far as playbooks, player likeness, and equipment, those are all things that are definitely high up on the list that they should be looking to do. But at this point, with how this year is going, there's just simply no guarantee that they're going to do it. That's all I got for you guys today. Make sure to check back. We will have the official update when it drops. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out some of these other videos right here on the screen, and I will see you guys next time.